Welcome to the show. We're very excited here today because we're covering a breaking news by the company Taat Lifestyle Wellness. And we're very glad to have the CEO here with us today. It's Sati Coscarella, the CEO of Taat Lifestyle and Wellness. Welcome to the show, Sati.
Thank you, Gilbert. Pleasure to be here.
Yes, maybe you can start off by just giving the audience a bit of an overview of your company.
Sure. So Taat Lifestyle and Wellness is a company that is looking to tackle the tobacco industry. So what we've done is created a new base material called Beyond Tobacco that works similarly to how Beyond Meat can replicate the experience of meat without meat. We do the same thing with tobacco. So our base material will look, smell, and taste exactly like tobacco when smoked, but it contains no tobacco and no nicotine. So for people who smoke, when they use our product, they can actually have the opportunity to leave that nicotine addiction behind. And when they use our product, they can decide and choose if they want to smoke and when they want to smoke, and they don't have to smoke because they feel they have to. And I think that's a very important problem that we're looking to solve.
It's really very exciting. Can you maybe elaborate a bit? How does this really work? Be the technology plan behind this? How does that really replicate that same feeling of smoking real one?
Perfect. Yeah, that's an excellent question. So the base material we start with is hemp. And while there are other hemp cigarettes that exist, they traditionally taste and smell like you're smoking hemp. So for someone who smokes tobacco, it's a very different taste and experience. For us, we wanted to see whether we could recreate that experience by further processing the hemp. And that's what we were able to achieve. So with that base material of hemp, it runs through a soon-to-be patented process where it comes in one way and then comes out with the properties of tobacco. Now, the other great thing that hemp provides is a different molecule to nicotine, which is called CBD. Now, CBD is not something that is psychoactive, so nobody has to worry that if they consume our product, they would otherwise potentially be high. That's not what happens. CBD provides a calming effect. And what that does is it counterbalances the withdrawal symptom you would feel when you stop smoking cigarettes. So for the end consumer, they wouldn't really notice the difference other than they'll more than likely feel better when they use our product than when they have a cigarette. And for us, that's really what we're hoping to achieve. When smokers try our product, they'll end up choosing it because of the way that they feel afterwards.
Well, so obviously you're tackling the huge tobacco industry there. So we all know the tobacco industry is really controlled by a few major established groups of these. So how do you go about to tackle that? Do you have the personnel to do that?
We do. So I myself used to work at Philip Morris. I worked extensively on the IQOS product, which is a heat not burn product that was commercialized extraordinarily well in Asia and is now gaining traction in Canada and North America. Now, in working at Philip Morris, I also had the opportunity to work with a lot of individual smokers to understand their challenges and their pain points and the things they like about smoking and a lot of the things they don't like about smoking. And for the vast majority of them, they do not like the fact that they're addicted to a cigarette. Yet none of the other products in the market solve that problem. They all still have nicotine, whether it's a vape or a heat not burn product or a cigarette. They're just different ways to deliver a drug that is very otherwise useless. It doesn't do anything other than keep you addicted. So what we decided to do is try to create the same experience that you would get with smoking, which in my mind is as important to a smoker as the consumption of nicotine. And then what we do is replace that drug with a better molecule, which is CBD, that I believe the smokers will enjoy more. So my experience was from Philip Morris. And then I've been able to recruit another former colleague of mine, also from Philip Morris, on the sales and distribution side of the business, so that we'd be able to go in and start negotiating with our distribution partners and our retail partners in the same way that tobacco companies would otherwise do. That gives us a competitive advantage in the industry compared to anyone else that's looking at trying to market something similar, because we understand how the market works and have the relationships that we can go in and have these conversations to get the product on the shelf. And once we get the product on the shelf, we also have the know-how on the marketing side to help get the product off the shelf. And that's how we can build a very successful business in the long term.
Yeah, that's really a good idea. So now maybe we can talk about the news, the breaking news that just happened for your company, especially for the Asian audience here. Maybe you can tell us about the details of that.
Sure. So after market close today, we announced that we completed a private placement round of $5 million US, or approximately 6.75 million Canadian. And it was led by a Miss Debbie Chang in Hong Kong, who is one of the co-founders of Horizons Ventures. So we're very excited to have Miss Debbie on board, and we look forward to working with her and her team in the future. You know, we feel that this investment really helps establish us in the community and will allow us to leverage some of their relationships to expand and get our product into the Asian market, which is a very high priority for us as a company as we begin commercialization in the US.
That's a very good idea. When people do some research, they will find out the background of Debbie Chan, because she's actually one of the co-founders with Selena Chow for Horizon Ventures. And Horizon Ventures actually have a very good experience in the investment world. They have invested into companies like Spotify, Facebook, Skype, all these successful stories. If people done their homework, they will know these are very powerful people behind this group. So very exciting news for your company. So maybe I will just end by asking you a great question to conclude here. Why do you think the investors should really consider investing into your company, TAAT, here?
Well, I mean, to put it simply, I think we've done extraordinarily well in a very short period of time. But in terms of looking at the future, we haven't even lit the match yet. We'll be launching in the US market towards the middle of Q4. And once we get our product in market, I think consumers will find it to be an extraordinarily powerful alternative to continuing to smoke tobacco cigarettes. And as more and more consumers come on board, I think the future prospects are very bright. There aren't very many, let's call them junior tobacco companies, that people would have the ability to invest in. But I'll leave you with a short example of what the last one that happened achieved. I'm sure most of your viewers would know a product called Juul, the vape product that looks like a little USB stick. Juul launched in 2015. Quickly, they took a significant percentage of the e-cigarette market and started taking modest gains on the combustible cigarette space. In 2018, 3 years later, Altria bought 1/3 of Juul at a valuation of $40 billion. That's what they were able to do in 3 years with a product that doesn't resemble cigarettes in the least. We have a product that resembles cigarettes entirely at a price point that will be cheaper than any pack of cigarettes somebody would be able to buy in the United States. I'll let your viewers do the math.
That's really a good math to do. People can do that homework for sure, do the due diligence. So looking forward to more exciting developments from you and from your company, TAAT. So Sadi, I will let you go. Thank you for your time here today. We're sharing your insights and the breaking news with us here.
Thank you very much, Gilbert. I very much appreciate it.
I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.